Hi, how are you?
So, as of recording, I have been playing Guild Wars 2 for 10 and a half years. I started in early March of 2015, and here it is, September 23rd, 2025. Coincidentally, my 43rd birthday, I'll point out. And it's been quite a run. The vast majority of the time, I've actually been playing a lot of open world, and sometimes I do story. Once in a while, I do fractal, and that's about it. And in all of that time, I've crafted only a handful of legendaries. First off was the longbow Ferris. Next up came the great sword Exordium. Then there was the regular sword, the Shining Blade. And then there was a break for about 3 or 4 years while I decided what my next legendary was going to be. It ended up being Incinerator, which I then proceeded to make a pair of so that I could get the Twice Told Legend achievement. However, in all that time, there was another legendary that I wanted to get my hands on, or rather, that I wanted to wrap around my hands, and that is Legendary Armor, which to me is endgame content. I know it's like, oh, if you go into raids or you go into PvP or you go into to strikes or whatever it is, that's end game content. Or you go to Worldy World. For me, it's collecting legendary armor because you're using it all the time. Weapons, there's literally dozens of those, and there's a minimum 3 of each. Actually, I think at this point there's like 4 of each at this point. But legendary armor, we've got, I think we're up to, as of, I think Secrets of the Obscure introduced a 4th set of legendary armor, something like that. Um, but the one particular type of legendary armor that I've wanted is the kind that debuted with raids. I think at this point it was about 8 years ago, or 7 years ago, forgive me, would be Perfected Envoy Armor. This could only be achieved if you participate in raids in Guild Wars 2. Small side note, even though I've been playing the game for now 10 and a half years, ironically, or perhaps tragically, I've never played raids until 2025. It would have started in, what was it? It would have been, it was either April or May of 2025. So about 5 months ago, as of recording. That was the first time I started playing raids. Certainly, I've heard of raids, and the main reason I wanted to get into them was because I wanted to assemble legendary armor. Coincidentally, I'd wanted to assemble legendary weapons at the time. Who is this interloper that's gotten in here all of a sudden? Go away. Shoot. Get. Um, and you cute little rock dog, too. GTFO. Go away. Go away. You're in the way of my camera. Go away. There, that's better. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So it wasn't until it was either April or May of 2025, about 5 months ago as of recording, where I started to participate in raids. And that was thanks to the new guild that I'm in right now. And the reason I joined them in particular is because, well, they do raids on a regular basis. So great. Now I can do raiding. I can learn what it is. Now, the reason why I wanted to do raids is because there's a specific currency that you can only collect from raid bosses or raid events, if you wish. Legendary insights can only be collected from raids, and that's it. It also says challenge mode strike missions. Oh, that's why they do those so much. Usually I just do raids with my guild. It didn't even occur to me. Oh, that's why they're doing strike missions, because they're getting allies out of it. Oh, I didn't even realize that till just now. I've been with them for almost 6 months, and I'm just now realizing, or 5 months, and I'm just now realizing this. Well, you learn something new every day, Interior, I suppose. So just last week would be the second week of September 2025. I finally got the minimum 150 necessary to complete my first set of legendary armor. And now I'm going to assemble it. Or perhaps I could do what I've done in all the other previous legendary reveal videos that I've done and actually talk about the process of going through it. Strange thing about it is I done raids once, maybe twice, in a previous guild that I was in for about 8 years. I left them, or I walked away from them in November 2024. But before I did that, um, I had actually started the Envoy Armor 1 experimental armor collection. And they basically said, all you have to do is turn it on, and then you'll just naturally collect them over time. Well, that's true in some ways. So honestly, I started this process years ago, but I forgot about it until I, what was it? Until I joined my current raid in, like I said, it would have been April or May of 2025. So this has already been started. I just hadn't, I didn't remember that I'd had it going. And I also didn't have the opportunity. Long story. So anyways, honestly, I don't remember a lot. Most of this was completed in May or June of 2025. So just a couple of months ago, this was all completed. So a lot of it is, I'm kind of blanking on it. Pretty much all of it is tied to, you have to be in raids, you have to do raids. Basically, if you want to craft the Perfected Envoy Armor, the legendary Perfected Envoy Armor, it's all going to be in raid wings 1 through 4. So pretty much all the collections you need to do are in there, are in those first 4 wings, and then that's taken care of. So, for example, here, acquire a living crystal from the earth elemental in the Tangled Depths. Tangled Depths, of course, being Tangled Depths, which I hate. I hate with a passion. This is Tangled Depths right here. So you have to go in there. And what do you need? From the earth elemental and Tangled Depths, and use it to capture energy left over in the pillars after defeating the Veil Guardian in Spirit Veil. Spirit Veil is raid wing number 1. And the Veil Guardian is the very first raid boss that you have to defeat. So basically, you defeat the Veil Guardian, and then you take the living crystal to the earth elemental in Tangled Depths, and then you charge it up there, and then you get the item. The vast majority of these will say trophy, meaning once you collect it, now this is an exception one. This is actually an exception. It's not a trophy. You actually have to hang on to that. So is that one, that one. I have a spare one of those. Oh yeah, the one that I crafted is the one right there. If an item says trophy, after you collect it, after you use it according to the hint, then you can safely discard it, but only after you accomplish what you collected it for, okay? Now, right here, for example, it says trade with Scavenger Ratakin in Auric Basin to acquire a piece of polished Aurelium and use it to capture the tormented energies of the Twisted Cancel. So this particular item, you have to purchase the item in Auric Basin, then you have to turn around and take it into, is it Bastion of the Penitent? Yeah, no, it's not Bastion. I don't remember which one it is. But anyways, you take it into one of the raids, and then you have to activate this thing before you go into the boss, and then it says use it to capture the tormented energies of the Twisted Castle. So you want to activate this before you go in there, and then once you complete that particular boss, then you get credit for it. There's another one I had to do that. Oh, here's another one. Purchase Itzel Spirit Poison from Jacka Itzel and use it while defeating the Keep construct. Again, you activate it beforehand, and then, or you acquire and activate it before you fight the actual boss. I do not remember all of these, what all of these do. From the chest after defeating. So this right here is an interesting one. And this right here is actually evidence that I did do raids before I joined my current guild, because I've only, as far as I'm aware, I've only ever fought Sarah one time that I can remember, and that was probably 5, maybe 6 years ago as of recording, something like that. So that right there is proof, and I've never visited Sarah since then. So I don't even know what all's involved in that particular fight. I know that Sarah has a particularly infamous fight, or it's particularly difficult. but I've only ever done it the one time, and I was very much carried through it. So, yeah, you collect all of these, and then it says you click to choose a set of Ascended Armor. Oh, hey, that reminds me, before I forget, and I absolutely did forget, here you see Experimental Envoy. This is free Ascended Armor that you get when you're doing that achievement. See, Chest of Experimental Armor. Double click to choose a set of Ascended Armor. What you get is these 6 pieces of armor. So here he is wielding all the experimental armor, although be advised, this armor does not transform. That's only reserved for the final legendary armor. So this armor does not transform, and also it's not colored properly, so please disregard. In any event, yeah, by the way, there's his uncovered face right there. How about that? Anyways, this is the experimental envoy armor, okay? Which means it's not used in the final version. It's a free, separate set of ascended armor. Now, here's the reason why I'm making a big deal out of this. Okay, here's the reason why I'm making a big deal out of this. You get a free set of ascended armor, but it is not. I will say again, it is not used in crafting the legendary set of Perfected Envoy Armor. This is not Precursor. This armor attempts to channel the power of Envoys, okay? Now I'm going to show you down here, Refined Envoy Armor. This armor attempts to channel the power of the Envoys. This is where it says Refined, because here it says Experimental. The Experimental Envoy, you can set the stats to whatever you want, or rather, correction, you can set the weight to whatever you want to, because it is not Precursor. The Refined Envoy is Precursor. These 6 pieces of armor down here, that is Precursor. But the Experimental Envoy armor is free. So I made a mistake. Technically, I was warned about this, but I did not heed it, and so I've made a mistake. I've actually created more work for myself as a direct result of this. When you get the Experimental Envoy armor, you should probably set the weight to something different from the weight that you are ultimately going to be making. In my particular case, the Perfected Envoy armor I'm going for is medium weight. My mistake is that this extra set of Experimental Envoy I also put to medium. That was a mistake. I should have set it to heavy or light armor. That's what I should have done, because now this the Precursor armor is going to get eaten up. This is going to disappear, so you don't want to touch it. And you can see here, the only thing I've selected is the weight. I have not chosen the stats on it, okay? You do not want to set the stats on it. So I actually created double work for myself here. The next time I choose to go for Perfected Envoy armor, which is either lightweight or heavyweight, I will have to do the Experimental Envoy all over again. I'll have to acquire it again and select completely different stats. So I've created extra work. I've unintentionally created extra work for myself. So that's why I'm emphasizing it so much. You really, really, really need to select an alternate weight for that first level Experimental Envoy armor. So that's something you want to keep track of. This is much easier than the first stage. First stage, you're kind of running around to all these different raids, and then you have to tie it into a bunch of locations in open world or even fractals. So you're kind of jumping around all over the place. For Envoy Armor 2, Refined Armor, what you have to do is you collect the Crystalline Heart. You visit a Master Craftsman with, or created by a Master Craftsman, which is what this guy is, with 100 crystalline ingots. Crystalline ingots are crafted by, well, I'm in a huntsman, you know, so that works. But you have to craft 100 of these, okay? And you can see, I've been saving up for quite some time, you know. So crystalline ingots, you craft 100 of those, and then you get the crystalline heart. you have no reason to craft a crystalline heart except for this specific collection. Okay, you do not need it for anything other than so. Don't craft a bunch of crystalline hearts and expect to sell them on the market. Okay, I don't think you can do that, but just it would be a waste because the amount of materials you have to put into this is slightly ridiculous. But anyways, my point is you only need to craft one crystalline heart for this specific collection. Once you do, hang on to it. Hang on to it. Hang on to it. Stick it in your shared inventory. Okay. Do not lose it. Do not get rid of it. Do not consume it. Do not do anything with it. Stick it in your shared inventory and leave it there. Because then what you're going to do for the rest of this second collection is you're going to be traveling to a bunch of different locations created by infusing the crystalline heart with octavine essence in auric basin. So you need to do the auric basin meta fight or whatever. So you need to do that. You need to have it on you when you do that. Created by infusing the crystalline heart inside the volcanic fractal. So right there, you're going to a fractal. Snowblind fractal. Buffeted by a wyvern in Verdant Brink. That's one. I think that's the legendary wyvern patriarch. I think he does an attack where he raises up his wings and he tries to knock players off of the platform. So you have to deliberately get hit by that on purpose. Whether you die or not doesn't matter. Aquatic Ruins Fractal, created by infusing the crystalline heart in the ley lines underneath Dragon Stand. What that means is you have to go to the Dragon Stand map. You have to complete the meta, and then there's a very tiny rock that's underneath all the islands where the meta takes, or where the final boss fight with Morgemoth takes place. You have to find the specific rock that's just floating just above the death zone or whatever it is at the bottom of the particular area in Dragon Stand. You have to stand on that rock and boom, it'll automatically count towards this. Great Tree Entangled, created by infusing the crystal. I don't remember where that is. The Great Tree Entangled Depths. Oh, isn't that where the flax farm is? Or no. There's another tree. I think it's like right next to the flax farm, but you have to do some ley line gliding in there, or ley line and updraft gliding in there in order to get to that one. I don't remember exactly where it is. I hate Tangled Depths so much. Inside the Bastion of the Penitent. So right here. Oh, here we go. That sounds familiar. Probably not the one I'm thinking of. Sebastian of the Penitent is a raid that you have to participate in. So you want to bring it in there. And activate the crystalline heart and survive Cairn the Indomitable encounter without being hit by spatial manipulation. This one is easily the hardest component to acquire. This is the hardest one right here, okay? Cairn the Indomitable, Indomitable is the very first boss in I think that's Bastion of the Penitent. I think. Yeah. This one's Karen the Indomitable is Bastion of the Penitent. So it's the very first boss. It's a rock lord-looking thing, and what they're talking about by spatial manipulation, there's a part of the boss fight, and this happens like 5 or 6 times, depending on how good your raid team is, or your raid party, I should say, because raids are 10 player groups, or 10 player dungeons or whatever. What you have to do is there will be times during the Cairn fight where small and large green circles appear on various places on the platform. You want to deliberately stand inside of any of those. And you probably want to aim for the small ones, because if you aim for the big ones, you have to have a minimum 4 people in there with you, or else it does not count. Okay, this one is tricky. That's all you have to do, is just stand inside those green circles. It's preferable if you stand inside of a small green circle. That's preferable because you only have to worry about you. Okay, but if you go for one of the larger ones, you have to worry about multiple people being in there, and you have to coordinate that before the Cairn fight begins. Okay. Now here's the thing. This happens 6 or 7 times across the entire fight. So you have to do it every single time. If you miss that green circle, that green AoE at any point, this fails and you have to do the whole Cairn fight all over again. Even if the fight succeeds, you do not get credit if you miss those green circles even one time. So that's why this one is particularly difficult, because you have to do it over and over and over and over until you can get it right. Also, equally important, you remember when I said earlier, you have to have the crystalline heart in your inventory when you go to all these locations. For this specific one, for the Jade Heart, you must activate the Crystalline Heart before you start the Cairn fight. So if the Cairn fight fails, if you all slash GG and you start it over, you have to reactivate the Crystalline Heart and then do all those green circles all over again, okay? If this is not active, if this is not in your inventory or wherever it is, this does, and you don't activate it, you do not get credit. Even if the boss succeeds, or if you succeed in defeating Karen the Indomitable, even if, you will not get credit for this specific collection, okay? I cannot emphasize enough, this is easily the most difficult part of the entire Envoy Armor 2 thing. And it took me 4 weeks to do this. Now, obviously, your mileage will vary. For me, it took 4 weeks because of timing and opportunity. And I actually attempted this. I think it was 13 or 14 times. It only takes one to complete it, but it took me 13 or 14 times. So it's challenging. And every time I was frustrated, my guildmates were saying, "Oh yeah, Ava, this is difficult. This is easily the most difficult part." So I'm passing this on, John, to you. This is the Jade Heart is the most difficult part of this whole thing, easily. Okay. Moving on. Survive recreation sector in the Bastion of the Penitent after being protected by its defenses. I don't remember that one. Oh, I think this is the final boss in Bastion. I think that's what that is. Activate the crystalline heart and use it to absorb the energy of Rigum and Bastion of the Penitent. That's one of the mini bosses, I think, in the third encounter of Bastion. And survive the Deimos encounter in Bastion. Deimos is the very last boss in Bastion of the Penitent. So you just have to make it all the way through. This is the last step. So this one, you have to do all of these before you go to Redeemed Heart. And what you do is, after the Deimos fight, so after you clear the Bastion of the Penitent, you clear it all the way through, the floor beneath the platform becomes safe. You want to deliberately walk or run over to one of the open areas to either side of that final encounter, and there's a very sickly looking tree that's in one of those areas. You walk over to it, and then that's what gets you the final completion for this second collection. And then you get the precursor armor. The precursor armor being this stuff down here. Actually, at this point, I think it's safe for me to move these here. Yeah, it's safe for me to do that. So these are what you get, the refined armor, or yeah, the refined Envoy armor is what you get, because it says right there, chest of refined Envoy armor. So this gives you this. Unlike all legendaries that I personally have crafted up to this point, again, your mileage will vary, legendary armor is actually one of the easier legendaries to craft. Strange as it sounds, it's one of the strange ones, because you only have two collections that you have to do. Oh, I just remembered. The crystalline heart for the second stage, when you get redeemed heart, and you put it next to the or you do that emote, whichever one it is, in front of the tree of solitude. If you do that, the crystalline heart disappears. It disappears from your inventory. So don't panic. It's supposed to do that. But hey, in its place, you get a whole chest of ascended armor. Precursor ascended armor at that. So I will say again, the legendary armor was a lot easier than I thought. I would say stage 1 takes a lot of time because there's a lot of different things you have to do, and you're going to be running around through fractals and open world. Thank goodness, I'll say. This is the second legendary equipment, anything that I've ever crafted, to where I did not need to go to World v World and grind for yet another gift of battle. Thank goodness I did not need to do that. I hate. What is this? Okay, whatever. Oh yeah, because he's never been there. I don't care. No, I don't care. Where is it? There we go. Gift of battle. The Perfected Envoy Armor, legendary armor. You do not need to get a gift of battle. This is used for many things, and I hate that it's in World v World. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. It would have been worse if it was in PvP, I'm just saying. I hate going into World v World to collect this one item. And you could spend however, I think it's like minimum 3 hours or something like that. However is that's done. I don't care. Thank goodness you do not need to get a gift of battle in order to craft the Perfected Envoy Armor. Thank goodness. Oh yeah, I was saying that this is actually one of the easier ones. I would actually put this up there with the Ad Infinitum Legendary Backpack, which is acquired through fractals. That was relatively easy. Aside from the typical material gathering, and I explain this in a different video linked below, the Perfected Envoy Armor is actually one of the easier ones. You just have to collect materials, and then you just do a bunch of globe trotting on this one. Or yeah, you do some globe trotting through open world, but there's also fractals. There's a couple of fractals, and if you're already doing fractals, you can knock those out quickly enough. I do not remember if tiers in fractals are required, so you might be able to do these, the certain ones in tier 1 and then call it good. I don't remember, so forgive me. This one, you just have to travel to a bunch of different locations. That again, some more globe trotting. You're going to be spending a lot of time in Bastion of the Penitent, especially for these last 5, because these are, this is just participating in Bastion of the Penitent. And then, of course, there's the typical, you have to collect this many laurels, you have to collect this many materials. Honestly, I don't remember. I remember there's a lot of, oh, that's right. When you're crafting your legendary armor, you have to have, I believe it's 6 of each. Yeah, you have to have 6 of each. Ordinarily, when you craft a legendary weapon or a legendary trinket, the list of materials you have to collect just to make the one legendary, and that's it. Because you're crafting armor, each individual piece requires its own components. All the components are the same, you just have to create them in duplicate. You have to have 6 of them in order to make this thing work. And now that I think about it, I need to go collect my legendary insights. That's actually the last step that I need to take in order to complete this legendary armor that I've been wanting for 7 years and so many months. Another character of mine who oddly has her eyes covered as well. Strange coincidence. What's not a coincidence, though, is right now she's wielding both of the incinerators that I crafted for Twice Told Legend, and I can't get a good angle on them. Okay, you can kind of see it there. Both her arms are lit up. Let's see. Equipment. There you go. Incinerator and incinerator. So yes, I did. And you'll notice that they're both legendary. It's not that one is ascended and with a legendary skin over it. No, they're both legendary. So yeah, anyway, there's proof of that. Okay, anyways. I need to go find, I think it's this guy over here. Let's see, we're going to learn about this together. Ah, here we go. Legendary Insights. Why does that not work? Huh? Hmm? Wait, what? I've got 157. Maybe I'm talking to the wrong merchant. Am I talking to the wrong merchant? I seriously doubt it's the Laurel merchant. Okay, I've been waiting 6 months to do this. Where the hell do I exchange? You know, maybe I should have researched this before I started making this video. And that might have helped or something. It seems that the legendary insights have to be utilized within the Mystic Forge, and so there was actually no reason for me to come here. My mistake. Okay, let's see. 75 minus 9 is... What is it? 75, so it should be 70... 66. Okay, so I need to purchase 66. Oh my god. Fuck, that's expensive. Yeah. Well, I guess I'm bringing this on myself. Okay, so that's going to cover that one. So that's one. Let's see. And then I need another 75. Is that it? Yeah, 75. That's 5. And then I believe that's 6. Okay. By the way, I wanted to record that for you just to let you know there are occasions where I'm willing to spend a buttload of gold to get a component that I'm not willing to wait for or grind for. I'm not above doing that. And you can see right there, I just spent, what, 100 gold right there getting all those. So it turns out I didn't have all of those thingies that I needed. So, oopsie, because I was not quite as ready as I thought I would be. Cube of, okay, good. Phew. So I just now crafted these 3 cube stabilized dark energy, but I did not have enough stabilizing matrices. Shame on me. Ava, you really should be salvaging more ascended materials or ascended equipment. That would get you a lot more. Okay, so I have 3 of those and I need to craft 3. That should be enough.
That
Good.
looks valuable.
Okay, perfect. At least I didn't have to get a ball of dark energy. Now, those are randomly. You get those randomly. So that would have sucked. Okay, do I have... Yes, I do. Okay, all right. I think... Oh, wait. Do I have to have legendary insights on me, or does it draw them straight from my materials? I don't understand. Wait, that's... Well, we'll find out together. I really would, because it's just like, oh yeah, take these 3 materials, and then the 4th one you mix it up in the Mystic Forge. So, let's see here. I need to make certain I pull the right material, or I'm screwed. Ah. Okay, hold on. 2, 3. Okay. Now let's interact with it. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, what am I missing? Damn it! This is the last 6 components that I need to craft. And then I take these and I merge it with the armor, or I take what these produce and I combine it with the armor. So what am I missing? Great timing, Ava. I thought you had this shit locked up weeks ago. And hey, look at that. We're back here. Okay, basic magnetite shard. Basic magnetite merchant. Where are you? There we go. Exchange operative. Okay, now I talked to you a moment ago, so why... exchanges. Huh? What? It says I should be able to purchase them, but... You know what? I'm gonna go talk with Scholar Glenna. That's another option. Let's see, I think I can talk to her here. Is this it? Yeah. Spirit Veil. Oh, don't tell me I have to talk to her when I go in. Oh no. No, don't do this to me. I wanted to have it ready for the raids today. No. I wanted to impress everybody with my brand new legendary armor. What? What is going on here? I am confusion. Okay, so I'm struggling right now to convert legendary insights into something usable in the Mystic Forge, so I'm having to depend on a guildie to help me with this.
Sure you're up for the mission.
Apparently I can talk to
When Bennett
Scholar
told me
Glenna
about the
right
horrors
there.
he endured.
Okay, so I have to wait for her to start talking. There we go. Let's see. Where's your inventory? Okay. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Legendary insights. God, I hope there isn't a stage I've been forgetting all this time. Oh, get the proudness. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Oh no, I know what I did wrong. Uh oh, yeah, the purchase to get the prowess. Okay, so where do you get the gift of prowess from? Where do you get that from? This recipe is no longer available using newly acquired legendary insights that they have been converted into currency. Thus, unless the player's leftover insights, gift of prowess must be bought from Scholar Glenna. Okay, so okay, so it looks like I have to purchase the gift of prowess, and then that's what I put into the thingy, right? Legendary armor, gift of prowess. Oh, I was doing it backwards. That's why. Okay, I know what I did wrong. I know what I did. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna switch characters, and then that'll take care of that. Okay, so Anua has the materials that I need for the gift of prowess. Okay, so I thought it was a Mystic Forge thing. I was mistaken. Okay. Well, it's a good thing that you're seeing this happening live right now, because Legendary Insights was the last thing that I needed to collect, aside from those cubes of stabilized dark energy or whatever it was. I spent what, 70 gold on that? 70, 100 gold or something? No, I spent more than that. I spent way more than that. Because like 44 silver per, and I had to purchase several hundred. That didn't make me happy. Thought I had more than that. Grr. I was almost ready to break 3,800 gold too. I've never had 3,800 gold in 10 and a half years. Okay, so I need to go to... Where do I go? I go to the aerodrome. Right, there's the aerodrome. Aerodrome is there. I should give him a gold or something for this. I can't believe I screwed this up. Well, I didn't know. I thought that it was a... oh, what the fuck? Huh? What? Oh, that's easy. Okay, that's easy. Don't panic. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I want to see if I have any of these left over. Oh, I do not. Okay. So I do not have any stockpiled because they did not appear in the menu.
Let's see the color of your coin.
Elder Scroll. There we go. God, I have so many spirit shards. That's what I get for being locked in limbo in Guild Wars 2 for 4.5 years. 4, 5, 6. Why? Yes. Oh.
Till we meet again.
Okay. You know, the funny thing about it is I'm never going to make the spear. I don't care about the spear. Whatever. Okay, so. Okay, there we go. Two, three. Well, what the fuck? What? Is it two each? Oh no, I don't have enough obsidian shards. Ah, why you do this? Oh no. Can I purchase obsidian? I don't remember. Oh no. Don't tell me I just screwed myself. Oh no. I don't think I can purchase them. I can't purchase them. No, don't do this to me. What do I do? What do I do? He's at dinner, so uh wait. Wait. Wait, I can go to a wait, I think I could get them from a laurel merchant, I think. Okay, so I need 50 of each. So I'm gonna need I have two, so I'm gonna need 200? 200 sinew charts, right? Yeah, because it's 50 each. I only have enough for two. Ordinarily it's 300, so 200 obsidian shards. Where are you? God, I thought I had this whole thing locked down. Okay, where are you? There are you. Oh, I hope I have enough.
My ears. It's good to see you.
I think, there we go. Phew. Let's see, I need 300, so, or no, I need 200. You know, the weird thing about it is I've actually been stockpiling uh, obsidian shards for, or I've been stockpiling laurels for years and years and years. I was up to like 3,000, and it's only within the last 7 months I've suddenly started using these. Okay, all right, there we go. God, I hope that's enough. Okay. Why is my spacebar? Mm. Okay, hopefully this is it. Hopefully. Get the prowess. Two, three, four, five, six. Was that enough? Yes, it was. Good. Okay. 6 gifts of legendary insight. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. So each piece of armor, gifts of dedication, 6 gifts of prosperity, and 6 gifts of prowess. Okay. That's what I needed. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the Mystic Forge, or at least one of its cousins, and I'm going to double check. Hopefully, that's all the components I need. Hopefully, because it's 4 components for Earth's 4 components for each piece of armor. Okay, so the gift of prowess is what I was not purchasing. Hmm. Okay. Whatever. Okay. Now I'm just gonna test. Why is my spacebar failing like this? I'm gonna test to see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's it. Woohoo! I've got everything I need. Okay, good. Woo! Okay, I started this recording this video way earlier than I should have. But hey, you get to go along on the journey with me on this one. So, okay, cool. All right. First, I'm going to thank my friend for helping me, and then I'm going to send him a thingy for his assistance. There you go. Okay, good. That's taken care of. Okay, all right. That's all verified. Put this back where it belongs. And now, as is traditional, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 3 components. There you go. The announcement of I've gotten everything. That was a pain in the ass. Well, I should have known that ahead of time. So all I had to do was just purchase the gift of prowess. That's what was missing. So, but yeah, these three obviously you have to craft these
You'll
through
find everything you need here.
arc ingots, reclaimed metal plates, chalk eggs, gift of the pact. Gift of the pact is easy. If you've got Heart of Thorns, that's easy to get. All you have to do is map um, map completion of Heart of Thorns. And that's easy. Whatever. Condensed might, condensed magic, those tend to be expensive because there's some tier 6 crafting materials in there. Remember I was saying a couple minutes ago that I have been stockpiling whorls for years and I had several thousand? Well, the reason I'm down by several thousand is because, aside from the fact I wasn't using them for years, um, I actually used it to purchase. I used those laurels to purchase tier 6 materials specifically for the gift of condensed might and gift of condensed magic. Those things you can purchase them on the market, but they're really expensive because they are tier 4. So, anyways, and remember you have to create 6 gifts of condensed magic. 6 gifts of condensed magic, which means each of those tier 6 materials you need 600 of each, not 100 of each. And then a gift of craftsmanship, and then not 15 Mystic Clovers, but you need 60, 75, 80 something like that. That's how many you need. So yeah, because remember, everything has to be purchased in duplicate by design. And then you saw, the panic. I had to go 6 gifts of prowess. Okay. All right. Now we can go. And I'm going to tell my guild. Queue. There we go. Now the guild knows. Okay, whatever. I'll pull screenshots from this later. Okay. Enough flexing, Ava. Let's go. I have waited 7 years, 7 years to get to this moment. That's the majority of my time in Guild Wars 2. I've waited 7 years for this.
That looks valuable.
Now, keep in mind with every single one of these, did I refill? Yeah. Every single one of these is legendary. So I'm making an entire set of legendary. That's the crazy thing about it. And last but not least, it is done. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oh no, they're not here. No, it's okay. They're sitting in the armory. They're sitting in the legendary armory. Although I did see an achievement a moment ago, legendary armor. Yeah, so basically this achievement is activated. And it activates when you get the first piece of legendary armor. But clearly it wants you to get 3 weights of armor, or just 3 sets. I'm sorry, that's what I should have said. 3 sets of legendary armor, whether it's light, medium, or heavy, whether it's PvP, raid, world v world, doesn't matter. That's what it's aiming for. Or more recently, the PvE from was it Chanter Wilds or Secrets of the Obscure that has the next set of armor. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I can't believe it. I don't believe it. I finished it. Yay. So now that I've crafted my first set of legendary armor, who am I going to stick it on? You would think that because I was using raid so much, I would have stuck it on my thief, my only thief. But I kind of like her armor the way it is. Honestly, like I just recently upgraded her to all ascended everything, so she's good where she is. But the one character that I've wanted to stick this on the entire time is no exaggeration, the character who's been with me from the start, my favored, my Bay, my Norn Ranger, Sandris Allure. She is the one that I have the most history with. She was my first character. Um, I've mentioned her a number of times in my other videos. In fact, I've shown her in a number of my other videos, but I think I've also described a little bit of her history. The point is, anything that I have done for the first time in Guild Wars 2, vast majority of the time, it happened with Sandra Salor. She was the first one through the gate with me on everything. She was my first character 10 and a half years ago. She was the first character that I took to World v World PvP. She was the first character I took to raids before I switched over to my thief. She is. Why am I going this way? I don't know. I'm just bubbling with excitement here. No exaggeration, she is the character that I have spent the most time with. She has the most hours. She's the first character I did Central Tyria World Completion on. I've done everything with her for the first time. In fact, she was the first character who was all ascended equipment, and she's the first character to be equipped with my first legendary weapon that I crafted, being Ferris the Longbow. So she was the first one to do that. Now, in this case, I have Exordium, I have the legendary greatsword, but she's deliberately wielding an ascended version because it's the exact same stats, exact same everything. The only difference is, well, actually, there is no difference. It looks exactly the same, you know. But anyways, I've had her for the longest amount of time, and baby Aurene, mini baby Funko Pop Aurene, who I still loved and adore to this day. Ooh. But anyways, Sandra Salor here. She's been the first at everything, and now she will be the first to wield legendary armor. The weird thing about it is, you saw my list of characters earlier. The way that I personally do my characters is I usually keep them with um, one set, not one set of armor necessarily, but one style, and then I'm very monogamous to that. So I stick to that. In the case of Sandra Lore, because she was my very first character, her image went through a couple of different appearances, so it changed a little bit in the first year or so. Originally, she had an eyepiece, or excuse me, an eye patch that looked like a Magitech sniper's scope or something like that attached to her eye. Since then, we have a jade skin that does the same thing, but that's not the point. Um, but one day I came across Karma armor for the very first time, and that's what she was wearing, and that kind of determined what she was going to ultimately, what her style would ultimately end up with. Lightweight, um, provides a bit of actual metal here and there. But one thing that I didn't like about this particular, is this Rubicon? Yeah, I think Rubicon is what it's called. This is Karma, or the skin is Karma. Excuse me. And it's a default skin. The whole set is. But one thing I didn't like about it is that it's asymmetrical. Now the buttons on the shirt, okay, or on her jacket, okay, whatever. But the shoulder armor, that just drives me batty, drives me absolutely insane. And I've been wanting to change that. Well, because this character, oh, she was also the first to fight in the battle for Lion's Arch. So she's also the first one to go through all story mode. By the way, I forgot to mention that. Sandra Allure has treated me very well, and I have treated her very well in return. She and I have been, connected at the hip pretty much from the start. And I just now noticed, holy shit, here's all the legendary armor right here. Just as I crafted Ferris, the longbow, for Sandra's here, I am crafting that perfected envoy armor for Sandra's, specifically for her. because, well, she is the Pact commander and she is my hero and she deserves armor worthy of a legend. In case you didn't notice. Okay, enough talking. Let's actually get this show on the road. Oops. I was able to click that twice. Oh my gosh, I actually have legendary armor on her. Holy smokes. This isn't even the good part. This isn't even the best part about it. Oh, she gave her high heels? Ew. Ew. I don't like high heels on female characters, especially if they're adventuring characters. Nah, I don't like that. And not just on females though either. I mean, it's okay, if they're booted, they're slightly raised. Why am I pointing at the screen with my hand? You can't see it. Slightly raised heel with boots, okay, whatever. But you gave her high heels or raised heels, I should say. Yeah, they're high heels. So, you know how I feel about that. Now that I think about, I've got to think about whether or not I want her to keep the backpack on her or not. It's going to become this big bulky thing. Oh, look at you, Sandras. Let's go. Let's effing go. I'm gonna keep the backpack on her though. I'm gonna keep the glider on her. All right, zoom zoom. Let's do this, shall we? Ooh, I didn't know about that. It wouldn't be armor for a female if it didn't show cleavage to some degree. You know what? Shut up, Ava. I don't care. You've waited 7 years for this moment. You knew what you were getting yourself into. Oh my God. I need to turn up the, oh, there's a sound with it? Really? I love how the armor continues adjusting even after it's been deployed. Like it takes time for the armor to appear. I love that. I mentioned in the video for Ad Infinitum Legendary Backpack that I like weapons that compact down and compress a little bit. Well, the same thing with Ferris, the longbow that she's wielding right now. I'm definitely going to change the colors on this though. I need to think about this. But I think maybe my graphics are turned down far enough that I might be missing something. I could just hear those Bayformers transformers, the way that they're transforming. I can hear that every single time that this armor's activating. Well, not literally, but still. That is wild. Is it supposed to glow like that? Oh, no. God, I wish my camera was lower so I could see the. Wait, can I do it here? Oh, I could do it here. What am I doing? I'm gonna have to take the time to look at the details of the armor as it transforms, because like I could spend forever talking about this. The torso armor doesn't change as much as I thought it would. And it's crazy how the shoulders are continuing to flex. Weird. See how they're moving oh so slightly? Yeah, her left shoulder here. Look at how the scale pattern or whatever keeps resetting itself. Oh wow. And then the horn, or there's a pair of tusks that come out the side of the head, and then there's a horn that comes out the top. Wow. I didn't want to tease my I didn't want to tease my thief or my engineer because they are also medium weight armor or medium weight classes. I didn't want to mess around with that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to change the colors on this, but for right now, oh, you know what? I just thought of something. Hide this, hide this, hide this. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe my graphics settings are turned down just enough. There's probably some stuff happening here that I'm not able to showcase here. But this computer is 9 years old, so I have to kind of turn it down at this point. Although, to be fair, Guild Wars 2 is 13 years old at this point, something like that. Yeah, 2012, so. Oh, this is amazing. That's fantastic. I love it. I love it. And in the case of the medium weight perfected envoy armor, um, it allows for that lighter weight mobility. You know, it's less infringing if she has to run or to dodge or whatever it is. And then when combat calls for it, the armor remains fully flexible. And I love, just by sheer coincidence, the Rubicon coat that she was wearing. Why is that appearing here? Go away. The coat that she wears also has kind of it's a long coat, and so it does basically the same thing that this armor does. Her legs are covered as well, so it transitioned really nicely in this case. I deliberately designed Sandris. Actually, most of my female characters, I designed them to be deliberately athletic and muscular, and this Norn is no exception, even though she stands like 2 feet taller than me, so IRL. Let's go. Clapping like a monkey, Ava. Shut up. I was just about to jump into open world and show some combat, and then I realized, oh yeah, I haven't selected my stats or like anything. I also need to equip some whatchamacallits, runes. Superior Rune of the Scholar. Okay. You know what? 5 gold each. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I call that worth it. I mean, this is legendary armor, so yeah, that's worth it. And it is
like it.
in duplicate for what she currently runs, so. Is it actually applying? Yeah. Okay, backpack. No, I want you to turn it back on. And I do want them to appear. Okay. You know, I just had a really weird. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick to this original. Okay, so I need the stat sites. Okay, here we go. This is why you make legendary. Okay, this right here is why. Let's see, select stats. You can change. Here's all the stats that are available in the game. Okay, and yeah, I want to do that. Okay. So you can, so just for argument's sake, this isn't what I'm going to keep it as, but here's the reason why you go through the effort of making legendary armor in particular. Okay. So I've selected just for demonstration's sake, minstrels, excuse me, stats. Okay. Choose to apply some of the changes. Yes, I do. Okay. So now all of my legendary armor, I still can't believe I'm saying that. It's not ascended, Ava, it's legendary. Holy crap. So all of my ascended, force I have it, all of my legendary armor now has minstrels, okay? But supposing I'm in a different scenario and I want to switch it to something different, let's say apothecaries. Select this checkbox to apply these stats to all equipped armor, which yes, we do want that. Do I want to do that? Yes. And now all of a sudden, apothecaries perfected envoy. And the same of all of them. So that's why you get this. Also, actually, okay, so I'm going to put it on what I actually want, which is Zerk. Nothing but the best for my girl. There we go. So here's the other thing. If I decide to, for whatever reason, remove a piece of legendary armor, so I'm just going to put the hat back on, or the ascended equivalent back on. So right now I have a superior rune of Scholar on there, okay? Now, yes, I already have one on the ascended equivalent, but watch what happens to the inventory when I swap out for the ascended equivalent.
The spoils of battle.
It deliberately discards the rune that was attached to that armor. Okay, it deliberately discards it. What just happened there? What was that? Just for the sake of demonstration again, and you can see right here, superior runes of the Scholar. So they're all sitting right there, and they removed themselves for free. Right there in my inventory. There it is. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. Right, okay. Now, if I decide to re-equip the legendary armor, okay, well, now, this is the only downside, really, is you have to reattach the runes. I think that's the only problem, and I think what I can do is save. Yeah, that's the default. Oh, shoot. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so this is what she ordinarily is. So let's say concentration. Oh, that's why. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. You know, I'll deal with that later. Okay, so the point is, oh, and I also have to change the stats. Customize Zerkers, because always make certain you checkbox this. Apply to all. And there it is. There's all the stats that I want, minus the infusion, which I don't have. So if I wanted to go into fractals, then that's what I can do there. Okay, now I can do some combat demonstrations with the legendary armor. Oh, clapping like a monkey, Ava. What's wrong with you? This is going to sound strange, but from my perspective, it's strange to see her legs when she's running. Like, the last 9 years or so since I discovered Karma armor, or whatever it is, her legs were always covered by the Rubicon armor, or whatever it is. It's really strange for me to see her legs again. Also, it's unusually difficult to find, what shall I call, battle skirts in Guild Wars 2. It's kind of a difficult thing to do. So, well, and believe me, I know I've tried with my Sylvari Elementalist, who was my first Elementalist. She, I really, really wanted her to have a princess's ballroom gown at all times, but it was so difficult because where are you going to get the ballroom skirt? You know, where's that going to come from? So, yeah. I love it. I love it. It's like it's armor that comes out of nowhere. What a novelty. I love it. I just noticed something unusual when I had her jump into a sky scale. Her armor was already equipped and then it disappeared. So is that true of all of them? No, that's not true. Maybe it's only... Oh, there are armor. Oh, there it's disappearing. Hmm. Maybe it's like the first time you use it? No. Yeah, there's the armor. Look at it. And there it disappears. Strange. I wonder if that's a bug. I think that is a bug. I'm not sure. I just want to see what all mounts do that. Or which mounts do that. No. No. Hmm. So it only seems to be the sky scale where it does that. Yeah, right there. See, the armor's all out, and then it disappears again. Huh. I wonder why. Alright, moving on.
Grab some water from the Dolyak.
Might
and
makes
put out
me
those
right.
fires.
How long does the armor wait before it turns off?
Grab some water from the Dolyaks and put out those fires.
I need help.
I'm out of combat mode. Shouldn't the armor disappear? Well, not like that, but...
How did they get here? What's gotten into you?
Now there I deliberately told the armor to turn off. It was not a matter of coming out of combat mode. So I want to see how long it takes for it to come out by itself.
Might makes
Oops.
me right.
By the way, small note, just recently they patched, or they buffed, because of the Visions of Eternity expansion that's coming out next month, they're going to be buffing Ranger Longbow. Power coefficiency is going up. And I'm like, thank you! I've only been waiting for a decade for them to do that. Jeez. Okay, now right here I'm out of combat mode, but for whatever reason the armor is not retracting. Do I have to deliberately turn it off every time? I don't know. So I'm going to turn it off on purpose. The armor should disappear. Yep, there it goes. Waiting for it. Waiting for it. Okay, now I'm going to engage.
Might makes
There's
me
the armor.
right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to wait and see if the armor... Okay, so I'm in combat mode. I'm out of combat mode. Shouldn't the armor disappear at that point? Or, I should say, retract. That's strange. So you can see her bare arms. Nothing wrong with that. Show off a bit of that muscle that I built into her a decade and a half ago. Also, lovely voice, too. I've been listening to the... What can I call it? The wonderful tonalities of actress Claudia Christian. Is it Christian or Christensen? Who perhaps best known these days for her role as in the 90s, late 90s. Oh, there goes the armor. Oh. So it does turn itself off eventually. I guess it's just longer than Simply, so like you could turn it on and off at will, but it looks like it takes longer. I'm thinking as I say it, looks like it takes longer than um,
Alfie heal. You'll spill your pack fighting
longer
like that.
than, you know, like 30 seconds or whatever after you get out of combat mode. So there must be an additional cooldown there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's like even if she comes out of combat mode, because ordinarily once they're out of combat mode, they'll put the weapons away right away, but seems to be a longer cooldown for the armor to retract itself. I don't know why, but
Grab some water
I
from the dog
guess that's the
racks.
case.
Put out
Mhm.
those fires.
And right there, I'm not even in combat. Oh, because I picked up a pack. That's why. Can I turn the armor off? Okay, so right now, I just now tried to turn the armor or retract the armor. It's not retracting right now. Okay, so every time you pick up a
Grab some
packet or
water from
something,
the
then
dog
the
yaks
armor
and put
turns
out
on.
those fires.
Yeah, see right there, she picks up a packet. Okay, so it activates every time she picks up a packet. All right.
Put out those fires.
Why did I have to pick this
No,
event to
Alfie.
follow? What is wrong with me?
Might makes me right.
I just took a moment to look at the wiki while this part of the event was finishing up, and it doesn't mention anything about a bug in the Perfected Envoy medium armor bugging in terms of, you know, staying activated for too long. I don't entirely know what's happening there. It's strange. Oh, I almost sold ascended equipment. Oh, that would not have been good. No, that would not have been good. That's a very long video, but on the other hand, the amount of effort that it took me to get this, the indulgence of this armor, certainly worth it. Thanks for time. I have to check, see if I could deploy your armor from in here. Can I do it from the screen? No, I cannot. Darn. Darn. Oh, there's another critter on her back. Huh, I didn't know that. Hmm. It's so strange. Not only can I see her eyes, but she's not wearing the broad-rimmed hat, and she doesn't have the long jacket. It's so weird. Also, I kind of wish the animal or the critter motif was not there, but whatever. I can live with that. Wow, this is amazing. This this for me is end game content in Guild Wars 2. For me personally, this is end game. Like I've run the marathon. I've put the effort forward, and ta-da, there it is. It's 10 years. Well, no, 10 and a half years I've been playing, but 7 years of knowing this is here, wanting to get it, and now finally on my 43rd birthday, I got it. I built it, I crafted it. Here it is. Yay me. Also, I think I'm gonna have to change the armor coloring. I don't know how, but yeah, I'm gonna need to change that armor somehow. So, gosh, I like that her kind of her elbows and a little bit of her forearms are showing. That's nice. I like that. Show that muscle off. She was always intended to be athletic, so. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to change the color of this. This is default for Norn females. It always starts out as this color, so I'm probably gonna put the purple from her Rubicon armor or armor in there. Probably gonna stick that back in there. Uh, I don't know how the colors distribute, but I'm definitely gonna change that up. Hmm. All right. And so with that, thank you for sticking with me for so long, and I apologize for the extended length of this video. And this is AV Unit 4A saying thank you very much for tuning in.